Hello friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Report. Because without you guys, this ain't be nothing, man. We busted well through 5,000 and still growing like crazy. And I want to thank each and every one of you guys that come on here every single day and comment about the Jobu Report. And I'll even thank you trolls that are out there that are giving me a whole lot of crap, you know? But anyway, the regular season's over and it's now time for the playoffs. And of course, Jobu needs a refill. And while I get that, let me go ahead and remind you guys that unfortunately, we won't have Randy Gregory for the playoffs. And actually for the whole 2017 season. And then he'll have to apply for reinstatement, unfortunately. But the good news is, DeMarcus Lawrence will be back. Tyrone Crawford will be back. And that Dallas Cowboy defense, I think, will be beasting in the playoffs. In fact, I've got a throwback here. My Jobu's Black Sheep from 2014. Because that name is fitting perfectly for the Dallas Cowboys because they get no respect from anybody. How is it that a defense that's top 5 in scoring defense doesn't have a single Pro Bowl player on it? Not one. But I think that the Dallas Cowboys have actually fed on that disrespect that they're getting. And I think every week they go out to prove people wrong. Because if you think about it, to a man, everything that Stephen A. Smith has predicted about the Cowboys has been wrong. You know, when Tony Romo went down, season's over for the Cowboys. The accident waiting to happen. No way a 4th round quarterback. There's a reason why a guy's drafted in the 4th round can lead the Dallas Cowboys. Even when he started playing well, it's just because of that offensive line and teams aren't gearing for him. Yet, week after week after week, he proved them wrong. As well as that suspect defense that everybody said doesn't have a pass rush. Now, all of a sudden, it's sacking people left and right. And I look for them to do really well into the playoffs. In fact, my mantra from here on out is 3 and out. That's right, 3 and out. Because I think that defense is going to be 3 and out on those offenses a lot in the playoffs here. And I'm looking for the Dallas Cowboy team to be 3 games and out. 2 playoff games and a Super Bowl and out. That's my mantra. That's what I'm putting out to the universe, and that's what I'm going to believe. So, now that we're here with the playoffs, we've heard everybody else give their predictions, and to a man, almost all of the talking heads are saying that the New York Giants are going to the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots, and that the Dallas Cowboys have no chance, regardless of the fact that they've gone through and done really well this season with a 13-3 record. But regardless, I'm going to give you my reasons why I think the Cowboys are going all the way. So let's go ahead and start with the Lions versus the Seahawks. I don't think that the Lions, even though they've had a great season, have the horses to go ahead and take care of that defense, even with the injuries that they have of Seattle's and playing on the road. You know, the Lions are a dome team. They're used to playing indoors and everything else. It's going to be cold, usually kind of wet, and you've got that 12th man. And if you have not been there, I'm going to tell you from firsthand experience, it is unreal how loud that place is. And with it being the playoffs, that 12th man will be in there strong and in full force, knowing that this is the last game they're going to see there this season, more than likely. So we're going to say the Seattle Seahawks are going to move on. And if the Seattle Seahawks move on, they're going to have to face the Atlanta Falcons because we have to play the lowest seat that's left. And the Giants and New York would both be lower. Now, most people are thinking that Eli Manning, having his playoff record, even though he hasn't played in playoffs in about 5 years, will just turn the switch and he will be playoff Eli, regardless of the fact that he has been more of a turnover machine most of the season. Now, me personally, I'm kind of old school when it comes to football. I believe you let your trash talking happen on the field by your play. You know, the guys that are out there saying, look at me, look at me, look at me, I can't stand. You know, you want to go ahead and get the highlights, everything else, do it on the field. Here it is, Odell Beckham, first playoff game that he's ever had, and it seems like he's doing everything but football. And see, don't get me wrong, Odell Beckham has all kinds of talent in the world. But to me, he's one of those guys that is kind of a cancer because he does a lot of stuff that negates that ability. You know, he can make a fantastic one-handed catch, but then he can go out there and have some boneheaded personal fouls because he's pissed off because somebody, touched him or made a play on him. And you can't have it both ways. You have to be consistent. And when you're talking about having a playoff game in a week, playoff week, to go to Miami and party at a club with Justin Bieber, to go out on a boat and everything else. And not only just that, here it is today, Thursday, we see him in the locker room with a wrestling mask on. You see him dancing and everything else. You see him doing that fake taxi cab commercial and this, that, and the other. And it seems like his mind is everywhere but football. You got plenty of time to do Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff after the season. To me, you should be focused on playing football. And when your quarterback has to make jokes so that way the media doesn't go after it, you're now a distraction. And because of that, because the Giants don't really have a running game, because it's going to be around 15 degrees in Green Bay, because the New York Giants are 7-1 at home and 4-4 on the road, and having already lost in Green Bay this year, I don't think that the Giants are going to win in Green Bay. So I'm actually going to take the Packers. And that means that the Packers will be playing against the Cowboys. Okay. Falcons against Seahawks. Well, they'll be playing in Atlanta. Atlanta's got a great offense. And I think that Seattle has still the Super Bowl hangovers. And by that I mean, here's the thing. Redskins and Eagles, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about right now. Your players right now are at home. They're resting, relaxing. They're getting off-season surgery. They're healing right now as we speak. But the teams that are in the playoffs and going to Super Bowls, they still got another month of work to do, which means they have less time to heal in the off-season. And with Seattle being a playoff team every year, going to a couple of Super Bowls and things like that, they have a shortened off-season. And also being good, you get picked apart from your coaches and you get your players and everything else that become free agents. So it's kind of hard to keep that together and keep that intensity. So I think Seattle is going to end up falling to Atlanta. So we're going to go ahead and put the Falcons here, the championship game. Now, of course, I'm a Cowboy fan, so everybody's going to say you're just picking the Cowboys because you're a Cowboy fan. Well, I'm going to try and be objective here. But I look at the Packers have been hot. Their offense has been playing great. Jordy Nelson has come back to being Jordy Nelson. Aaron Rodgers is looking like the bad man as opposed to the bad man. And they're playing really good. But they're playing this weekend. The Dallas Cowboys, I believe, have a much better defense than the Green Bay Packers. The statistics bear that out, where Dallas is 14th in yards and 5th in points given up versus Green Bay being 22nd in yards and I think 23rd in points. Cowboys will be playing home, rested, and they're getting other guys back. The Dallas Cowboys are going to be one of the healthiest teams in the playoffs. You're going to have La'el Collins that's going to be there to back up. You just signed another offensive lineman. You have the Dallas Cowboys with Zeke Elliott on plenty of rest. So all of a sudden, the Cowboys are looking really, really good as far as the playoffs go, as far as health goes, as far as being rested. And I don't think that the Green Bay Packers will be able to hold up on that. Okay. So that brings me to the Falcons versus the Cowboys in Dallas. And I believe, and I could be wrong, but I believe that my black sheep, the Dallas Cowboy defense, is going to be turning it up even higher, higher notch than where they are now, where they are leading the league in the last few games in sacks, where they've got David Irving, who's leading the league in the last 3 games in quarterback pressures. I believe they're going to be able to put plenty of pressure on Matty Ice, who doesn't exactly have a great playoff record. And I believe that our offense will run roughshod over that Falcons defense, which is not that good. And I believe that you're going to see a hell of a lot of yards in this playoff run for Ezekiel Elliott. Now, that's my reasons why I believe the Dallas Cowboys are headed to the Super Bowl for the NFC. Now, if you disagree, give me your reasons. Don't just say because the Cowboys suck, because they happened, to lose a couple of games in the pack. Give me real reasons why the Dallas Cowboys can't do that in the playoffs. I'm Mark Holmes. This is Cowboy Jobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and being part of the Jobu Report. And regardless of who's at the Super Bowl, me and Jobu will be there covering it and bringing it all to you. So as always, have a great night. Hello friends, Cowboy Jobu here with the Jobu Report.
Taco Bell, sometimes you gotta live fast. Again, when we're taking these selfies, when we're taking all these great pictures, make sure you use that hashtag. You don't want to miss out.
And that hashtag again was?
I tried. I got out just in time.
That hashtag one more time?
CBS Sportsnet Sweepstakes.
You heard it live here from Super Bowl Central. I'm Cowboy Jobu with the Jobu Report.